Hi, and welcome to 15 Minutes of Real Estate with your host, me, Drayton. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started. I'm glad you guys joined me today. I think we have a terrific show today, and I have a couple of things I really want to talk about because I haven't had a chance to talk about them in a while, and I thought this would be a good time to discuss Florida. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about Florida. And, I've been talking about Florida, as I often mention, guys. I am over on TikTok. If you don't follow me over on TikTok, please do. I'm at Drayton over there at TikTok. And please, if you haven't liked and subscribed to this channel, please do so, because I think you're going to really like the content. And I think we're going to get much better at it over the next few weeks. So I hope you stick around and join me. And please subscribe and like the video. Anything to help. But what I really want to talk about is I want to talk about Florida. And, it seems to be a very sore subject with people because everybody's convinced that Florida is going to just keep going up higher and higher and higher. And it's just not what I'm seeing at all. I think the biggest problem with Florida right now is the Gulf Coast, the southwest section of Florida. Not to mention the fact that they're building like crazy down there. But they're building for who? I'm not quite sure. But one thing I can tell you right now is there are empty rentals everywhere. And I mean everywhere. I think in one county alone, the vacant rentals is over 10%, closer to 12.5%. Now that to me is just, you talk about warning signs. That's a whole lot of warning signs right there. So let's talk about it. What is causing this? What I think is causing this is that they just got too rambunctious with building. They built and built and built and just assumed that everybody was going to keep coming down to Florida because, hey, we don't have to go to the office. We can live wherever we want. Yeah, slowly but surely, companies got workers heading back to the office. And Florida, year after year after year, keeps getting more and more expensive. So I'm watching anywhere from Naples all the way up past Sarasota. If you just really look at the numbers, it's not good. There is a lot of vacancies. There is a lot of people struggling to try to sell their home. And if you have all these rental vacancies, that's going to consistently bring down prices. And if rental prices are coming down, what do you think is going to happen to home prices? Because, I've been looking at the data just in Naples. Let's forget about the rest right now, the rest of the West Coast there. Let's just talk about Naples. Have you seen the amount of houses for sale in Naples? Have you seen the discounts for renting in Naples? They're everywhere. And that's in one of the richest areas in all of Florida. You're talking about Naples, Florida here. But when you look at the numbers, when you look at what's going on in Florida, it's not good. And it's not good up that entire coast. And what's going to happen is it's going to spread throughout southern Florida. Miami is already struggling. Miami, Hollywood, those areas are definitely struggling. Fort Lauderdale, and that's on the other side. So you have the West Coast not doing well. It's starting to spread over to the East Coast. And as South Florida gets more and more saturated with vacancies, what do you think is going to happen to prices? Prices are going to continue to go downward. So, I wanted to talk about this because so many times, especially in the last couple of years, you haven't been able to talk about Florida at all. Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what especially if you live in Florida, if you're experiencing something different than what I'm talking about, I'd love to hear from you because I'm looking at the numbers right now, and the numbers on Southwest Florida, I'm sorry, they just look really, really bad. But again, I really want to know what you think, what you're experiencing, what you're seeing, because what I'm seeing right now is a rental market that is struggling with prices falling. And when you have a rental market with prices struggling, that's going to leak over into homes as well. That's why all up and down the west coast of Florida, you're seeing price discounts everywhere. Look, more to talk about with this, but I want to move on to my next subject. But, seriously, in the comments, let me know what you think. Okay, we just talked about the listing agent, so we might as well talk about the buyer's agent and what the buyer's agent does. Because if you want to buy a house, for some reason, someone's convinced you that you need a real estate agent to buy a house. You do not. And that real estate agent is just a salesman. It's a tag along, and they have to be paid for. Do you really want to pay for a salesman tagging along? I mean, you can't look at houses by yourself. You think you need someone to open the door for you? I think you can handle that, don't you? So what does a buyer's agent do? Nothing. A buyer's agent really doesn't do anything at all. A buyer, as a matter of fact, when you hire a buyer's agent, you take your purchase power away. You've now given your purchase power to a salesman. You're the one with the loan. You're the one with the money. You're the one with the cash. Why would you take your power and hand it to somebody else? I've never understood that. Look, instead of paying a huge sum of money to a buyer's agent, you just need an attorney. That's it. An attorney will help you out for about $1,000, $1,500 tops. Do you know how much that buyer's agent is going to expect to get paid on a $800,000 house? $24,000. Yeah, that's what they expect. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So do you want that money coming out of your pocket, or do you just want to pay an attorney $1,000? I think I'd rather pay the attorney $1,000. So just know when you go to buy a house, once again, it's not complicated at all. It's tall as all. Title, appraiser, lawyer, lender. You just need a good lender. Make sure before you go to buy a house, you have a loan in place for $800,000 and you're all set. Or you have cash. But if you have a lender, you need a great lender, you need a great attorney on your side, and you need a title company that's ready to work with you. So that's all you need are those three people. And those three people can communicate your contract, and your lawyer's going to do your contract for you. So what are you worried about? What are you scared of? I hear so many people say, well, I thought I had to have a real estate agent to get a house. No, you don't need him for any reason. No, just remember, a real estate agent is really just a used home salesperson. That's it. They are a used home salesperson. That's it. It's exactly what they do, and it's exactly what they are. They're just salesmen who have literally put themselves in the middle of a transaction for no good reason, because they don't actually do anything. You don't need them to write a contract. The lawyer does that and can do it in a few minutes. You don't need them for title. You don't need them for the loan. So what is it you think you need them for? They don't do any paperwork. They don't do anything. They serve no purpose in the loan or the closing. Nothing. They don't serve a purpose. So do you need a real estate agent to buy a house? The answer clearly is absolutely not. And you certainly don't want them tagging along and paying for one. Why would you want to pay for somebody that's really not doing anything? Yeah, they can sit there and go, oh, well, I'll take you to the house and I'll open the door for you and I'll walk around and go, well, do you like this? Do you like that? You're grown adults. You can walk into a house all by yourself. You don't need a real estate. You know whether you like the house or not, don't you? Have you ever had a real estate agent convince you that, oh, this is the house for me? Good thing that real estate agent pointed this out. This is the house for me. No. And let me tell you something else. In the history of real estate, not once has an appraiser appraised a house for one single dollar more because a real estate agent was involved. Never. Not one time. So how much value does a real estate agent bring to a house? Zero. Absolutely none. You can ask any appraiser. They bring absolutely no value whatsoever. Look, again, I know we have a lot more to talk about here. I know you want to, please leave it in the comments. I can't wait to read your comments on this. Again, subscribe, like the channel. My 15 minutes are up today, but I hope you join me next time because we got a lot more subject to cover. So please like and follow and stick around. We have a lot more great shows coming up. Thanks for joining me today. Hey, there's a lot more videos to watch. If you liked this video, please watch the other ones. I'm almost as entertaining in the other ones too. Almost.